from. We are here live in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. I'm actually at the RIU Palace Cabo San Lucas Resort, staying at the RIU Palace Baja. Um, and I'm going to do a whole video on why I would recommend that, as opposed to staying just at this property. So stay tuned for that. But been here for about a week and a half now, just over a week. And it's May. It's surprisingly temperate. I was expecting it to be crazy hot because it is May. And I've been here in February when it's been crazy hot. I've also been here in August when you literally feel like Frosty the Snowman and you're melting. But actually, it's been pretty nice this week. The wind has been up and down, and the temperatures have been anywhere from moderate. Yesterday was a bit of cloud cover. Today it's clear again, maybe a little bit of haze, but it's about 24 degrees right now. Let me check. 20, well, it says 21. I don't believe that. Um, Probably closer to 28, and it'll get up to about 30 today. So, relatively speaking, that's about, I think, 85 in Fahrenheit. And yeah, so I've prepared some information for you. So just wanted to do a rough comparison of the three properties and also tell you a little bit about what the stay has been like in Cabo so far. So just for comparison's sake, they've actually expanded the the Rio San Santa Fe. And just for clarification, if you don't know, there are two levels, well, three now levels of Rio resorts. There's the basic, which is the Rio Santa Fe. They call them standard Rio hotels. They are all inclusive. But the higher you go, the more inclusions you have, the better cuts of steak, that kind of thing that you're going to find. Things like lobster or tiger shrimp, that kind of thing. So then we have the Palace Resorts, and here in Cabo, we have the Rio Palace Cabo San Lucas, which is where I'm at right now, and also the Rio Palace Baja California. And then there's a third tier, and that's resorts that have elite club. And the distinction there, generally speaking, as I've found over the last 3 years doing a bunch of tours of resorts, is that when you're elite club, if you're staying there, you don't have to be booked into. No, elite club is not a club. It's not a vacation club or timeshare or anything like that. Just a room category. So in Secrets of Dreams resorts, they have preferred club. In Hyatt resorts, they have club rooms. Here, it's called Elite Club, and it just means you're getting a better view, access to a private lounge, which has higher end alcohol. Usually have a separate private restaurant, as well as sometimes you'll have dedicated seating areas either at the pool or on the beach. And the Baja California, Rio Palace Baja California is an elite club resort, so it does fall into that category. So behind me here, you can see the ocean. We're on the tip of the Baja Peninsula. So we've got a container ship actually outside. It's the Skagen Maersk, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And that's an unusual thing to see. So it's here in Cabo San Lucas, I think, just for the day. There's no activity, so I don't know if they're just taking a break from cruising. It started, where did it start? Europe somewhere. I forget where. I just looked it up, but that's gone. Um, and then behind me, you can see the Carnival panorama. And what's kind of cool about that one is it arrived yesterday morning at 10 a.m. and did an overnight here. And then it's going to leave today at 4. What is unusual about this particular ship is that because it's tendered anyways, what they did is the captain said that last call or the last tenders, boats that take you from the mainland to the ship, would be leaving at 5 p.m. So we had a little fun yesterday watching as these were going. Well, actually, let me explain. So the last tenders yesterday were at 5 p.m. The boat's back here today. What they did is the captain wanted to sail out into international waters so that they could open up the casino and the duty free shops. And that's kind of unusual. But the couple that we spoke to yesterday, they were quite good with it because they like their casino time. But it just did mean that they had to be back on board by 5 p.m. or back on the last tender at 5 p.m. So going back to what I was saying, watching last night or last afternoon from the balcony of the RIU Palace, Baja California, sipping on a cocktail and watching the tenders coming in, we did see the ship turn around not 360, 180, and get ready to sail out of port. Had the pilot boat there and ready to go, and then we saw two tenders come racing out. This was at 5:40. So it's about a 10-minute ride from the port area where the tenders disembark to the ship. So these people were well late. And if you've ever heard of pier runners, that's where people who are supposed to be on board by, say, 4 p.m., they are usually late. And they're running for their lives because if they don't make it on board, it's up to them to make it to the next port. Now, if they're on a cruise related excursion done by the cruise ship, or sometimes private ones will have a guarantee as well, then they may be guaranteed to get them to the next port where they'll be able to get back on board the ship. But in the meantime, they don't have anywhere to sleep. They don't have any of their stuff. And it's quite it could be quite terrifying, especially if it's, you know, a family and it's this one of the parents and one of the children has gone off and they're late getting back. Or if you don't have your passport, most people don't take their passport with them when they go into port. It's not required because you show your passport when you board. So, yeah, imagine not having any ID, a change of clothes, any medications that you might need. That can be quite the challenge. So, yeah, watching these ships um, blasting over to the cruise ship yesterday late afternoon was quite interesting. The ship leaves officially tomorrow, and then it makes its way to Ensenada tomorrow. Sorry, it leaves today at 4, and then it's gonna head to Ensenada tomorrow. So, slightly more challenging logistics if you miss the boat, but I'm curious as to what we'll see this afternoon. Okay, I'm gonna turn the camera around. So like I said, I'm sitting here at the Rio Palace Cabo San Lucas. This single-handedly is my favorite spot to enjoy lunch or dinner if you're staying at this property. If you're staying at the Rio Palace Baja, you can come over here for buffet lunch, which is great. And this particular restaurant, this is the Italian restaurant in the evening. During the day, it's just a regular buffet, but it is open to guests of the Rio Palace Cabo San Lucas and the Rio Palace Baja California. So I love to come over here and enjoy this view because this view. And in my opinion, this is one of the best seaside restaurants out of literally all the reviews that I've been to. So that's pretty high praise indeed. In the last 3 years, I've been to the Rue Palace Paradise Island in the Bahamas, the Rue Palace Antilles in Aruba, and the neighboring Rue Palace Aruba, the Rue Palace Bavaro complex, the Rue Palace Punta Cana complex. And I've been to these properties twice, once last February and now again today, well, this week. And like I said, this hands down is the best restaurant, and I'll show you why. Okay, so here you can see this is the buffet. They're setting it up, and there's indoor seating as well. But this is the balcony, and this is the view. So really, does it get any better? You can see Land's End. You cannot see the arch from any of these properties. That's a bit of a fail that some people suggest. So the only way from here that you can see the actual arch is by going on a glass bottom boat or some other excursion. And they do have some new boats in which are clear boats, fully clear, not just glass bottom. So I'm definitely going to be doing one of those probably on Friday, and I'll do some video on that so you can see what it's like. But the fish here are probably the most colorful fish I've ever seen. And I've snorkeled all over the world from Rarotonga in the South Pacific to, well, I haven't snorkeled in South Africa, but I've kind of been to a lot of different places, especially all over the Caribbean. And I'd say here the fish are the most colorful. So you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't do that when you come here. You don't have to go snorkeling per se. Just take a glass bottom boat, or better yet, take one of the fully glass boats. I'm sure it's acrylic or something, and just enjoy that you'll be able to have that sort of magnifying glass on the bottom of the boat to see into the ocean to see all those colorful fish. So yeah, and then here you can see there's people playing volleyball. There's the infinity pools. There's one right here. That's a large one. There's one there, and on the opposite side, those are both the swim up infinity pools. And then there's another pool on the other side, which is more of a quiet pool, but it's also infinity edge. So there's four main pools, and then there's one for the kiddos, which is tiny and super shallow. And then up on the top, you can see there, that is also one of my favorite spots. That's out of the top 5 properties for lobby bars and enjoying this view. Again, that one clinches the #1 spot. It is just as amazing with that view. You can get a cocktail, you can get some wine, beer. They have a couple of telescopes up there, so you can zoom in if there's whales in the water, which is about December through mm, April, give or take. You'll be able to see them from up there. And they have peanuts, cacahuates for a little snack. And there's also a coffee shop out there. So if you want a piece of cake or some cookies or a milkshake with a little something, something, or just a coffee or sandwiches, they have all of that. But it's overlooking the pools. And as I say, overlooking this amazing view. So yeah, kind of giving away some secrets here, but nonetheless, yeah, those are 2 reasons why I keep coming back to this resort. It's an older property. I'm gonna turn this around and give you some resort facts. Um, it is the second, so in terms of overall size, the RIU Santa Fe is the biggest. Oh, who's this? Let me turn on my glasses, which are dark, so now I can't see. Uh, can't see the name. Eric is saying we're coming in September for our 4th time. Oh, fabulous! Nice. Well, yeah, I mean, I've been here, probably stayed here 3 or 4 times, maybe 5. Yeah, it's a solid choice. Um, so yeah, but this is a Rio Palace, Cabo San Lucas. The Rio Santa Fe. So this is the basic properties I mentioned. It doesn't have all the extras. It's more basic, non name brand alcohol, and also, maybe not as much of like prawns and lobster seasonally. Currently not in the season for lobster, so they're substituting any of the meals that would have lobster. They're substituting with jumbo shrimp. But the Rio Santa Fe, they just did an extension on it last year, yesterday. And last February when I was here, there was nothing. They had the space where they're going to be building stuff, but it hadn't been built. And this year we came back and it is completed. So it's gone from, I believe it was 1,200 rooms up to 1,400. Of those, there is one section of the resort that is oceanfront. So even if you're staying at the Rio Santa Fe, the most basic Rio property in this area, there are still 424 rooms that are in an oceanfront building. And those ones are, the building's 5 floors and it does have elevators. And that's an important thing to note because the rest of the property is 3 to 4 stories high, and that's where the rest of the 864 rooms. And I believe that the new build section, which is at the back close to the splash water slide park, was going to be more oriented to families with larger capacity rooms. But of those 864 rooms in the 3 and 4 story buildings, none of those buildings have elevators. So just need to know that. Also, I need to know that there are some rooms that are called the RIU party rooms, and those are right by where the RIU party is. These take place 4 times a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. And they are can be fairly loud. The Tuesday and Friday parties start at 2:30 and they end at 7 p.m. And then the Wednesday and Saturday parties, those are the white and neon parties correspondingly, they start at 6:30 and they end at 11. But if you want to be where the action is, then the real party rooms are where you want to be. Um, wow, I should have brought my other glasses. I think that says, can I do that? Oh, I can do. Okay, AJ saying heading back to Baja first week of July. How's the temp in the evening right now? The temperature in the evenings is, I would say, unusually cool. But this is very unseasonal. When we first arrived last Monday, it was a full moon. So guess, take a look at whether or not you have, if there's a full moon when you're arriving, because that really seems to play a part in both the winds, the waves, that kind of thing. And so if you're arriving during a full moon, pack an extra sweater, maybe even some long pants. Well, realistically, probably not for July. But for now, I went out and bought pants one day because it was so cold. But lately, I haven't even needed a wrap for the last few nights. So it just depends, really, is going to depend on how windy it is as to what the temperature is going to be like. So going back to the rooms, so this one's the Rio Santa Fe is the largest with 1,416 rooms. This property here, the Cabo San Lucas, is 692 rooms. And these are 5-story buildings, and there are 6 lifts or elevators. So that's not a problem. And AJ says, thanks. She's there last year in June, and it was cold. Moved it to July. Well, like I said, I mean, I was here last year in February, and it was cold some days, but also like smoking hot others. And this time it's 3 months later in the year, and it's kind of been chilly. So who knows? Who knows? It's weather. The weather predictors for the weather here are as good as they are at home. So that's all I'm going to say about that one. The Baja California, that's the newest property, and that one is adults only. The other 2 are family friendly. That one has 602 rooms. It has 5 floors as well, and also 6 lifts. But it's very easy to get around. It's a much more compact resort. Walking from there to here uh, is about 1,700 steps. So if you want to work off your food, maybe you do indulge in a milkshake. Maybe, I had at this restaurant in particular, I had blackberry cheesecake ice cream the other day. It was divine. And now that I've thought about it, I might have it again today. So I have to do a couple laps around the property to burn off some calories first. The Rio Santa Fe was refurbished in 2022, and as I said, some of the rooms were just built last year, so those are pretty new. This property here was last refurbished in 2016, and the Baja California was built in 2018. I would say that the Rio Santa Fe and the Rio Palace Cabo San Lucas could use an update for sure. But with the views, I mean, I'll show you this. So if you look on the other side, right through there, that's where some of the oceanfront rooms are. So from there to there, that's the view. And quite a few of these other rooms, if you look around, I mean, there's the far building there, that side, where you can see that they've got rooms right up at the front of the beach. And then some of these back here are set back a little bit more, but they still have amazing views. So you really can't go wrong with that. Um, okay, what else? Pools, obviously the Rio Santa Fe has the most with 9. The other Cabo San Lucas has 5, which as I mentioned has the 4 swim up, 4 infinity pools, 2 of which are swim up bars, so those are not available for the kids. And then the one is just a kiddie pool, which is very tiny. And then the Baja California has 4, 2 of which are swim up bars. So priorities, right? Come on. There are 13 bars at the RIU Santa Fe, 7 here at the RIU Cabo San Lucas, and 7 at the Baja California. And then for dining options, the RIU Santa Fe is kind of built behind the RIU Palace Cabo San Lucas. So it has actually 12 restaurants, and they're kind of in 2 separate sections. So there's the one area, which is the courtyard, and there is gorgeous. So yes, it's a more basic property, but it is just beautiful in the pool area. So there's little things about each one that, like I say, with this area, with the restaurant and the view, it's stunning. And then the log bar for enjoying the views and a cocktail. The Rio Santa Fe for their courtyard pool area, and in the Baja California because it's the best of the best. So there's a little bit of something for everybody almost. Hey, Christine, how are you? Thanks for tuning in. Said I would consider Rio Baja California if they don't have that. Darn, oops, fading away. Whoa. Um, Open concept bathroom. Oh, yeah, yeah. So here at the Rio Cabo San Lucas, they do have the fully private bathroom. So there's a door, and then you enter the room, and it's the shower, the sink, the toilet, all enclosed. At the Baja California, it's a door to the toilet, and then the rest of the room is wide open. Other than the shower, has a frosted glass panel, and it's pretty spacious with a rainfall shower head as well as a handheld shower. But otherwise, it is pretty open. But the pools, the balconies at the Baja California are very spacious, and the rooms are a bit more spacious. And you've got a sitting area with a table and chairs as well as a couch. So it's a little bit more spacious that way. Um, yeah, so that's the only tricky part on that one. Um, so yeah, that's the restaurants, and there's a lot of little snacky places. So they call them either Tiki Taco or Pepe's Foods, and those ones are like little snacky things. Pepe's Tiki Tacos is like there's 3 or 4 kinds of meat, chicken, beef, pork, and maybe it was birria. I forget. And then the other one, Pepe's, they have like burgers, hot dogs, sometimes pizza, chicken. So I don't know if it was spicy chicken or not. We haven't tried it yet. Definitely hot chicken wings. So that's kind of nice. We have uh Eric is saying I did this resort last September, and why does this keep fading on me? After knee surgery, it has a lot of stairs, but really doable. Yes, that's a good point, actually. Now the Rio Palace Cabo San Lucas, not so much for elevators is the only thing. Whereas the Baja California, if there are elevators right from the pool level to the main uh, the main entertainment area. Um, so yeah, there are elevators, so it makes it a lot easier. And sometimes, like I clocked over 20,000 steps yesterday. We walked into town, um, and walked around town and got an Uber back. But also in the morning, I'd walked around. I'd walked over here to record the videos of the breakfast buffets, and I am also going to be filming for you guys the buffets for lunch and dinner. And it's a little more comfortable. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to do those videos as unique per property. So you'll see one that'll be the Rio Santa Fe breakfast, lunch, and dinner buffets, as well as for this property, Cabo San Lucas, as well as Baja California. So stay tuned for those. The evening buffets do change. It's nice that they do have an evening buffet. Sometimes you just want to get something casual. The themes change every night. Lunch and breakfast, it's pretty much the same stuff, the odd changeable item. And actually the breakfasts are really good, really, really good here. And I mean, for lunch, I haven't checked out. Well, we had the lunch here This is the smaller of the two buffets. So for lunch at the Baja California, being the smallest property, they only have the one buffet. At the Cabo San Lucas, they have two. Yeah, because I can see them setting it up. They have two for lunch. One is this one, as I say, the Italian restaurant with the outdoor terrace and the beautiful view. And then at the RIU Santa Fe, they've got three buffet options as well as four snack options. So they've got two tiki tacos and two Pepe's food. One at the front section and one at the courtyard area. And then also right by the Splash Water Park, they have the pizza place. It's pizza and what looked to me like self-serve beer options. If you're going on the water slides are muy intense. There's three that are basically like straight drop down. No, sorry, four that are straight drop downs. So a lot of people like to race on those. And there is another one that's sort of semi-enclosed and also very similar drop down, as well as two others that are fully enclosed, and one that sort of brings you down into this toilet bowl thing, which I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm going to be going on that, but it is worth noting that the Splash World Water Park. So this is for ages 12 and up. It must be 3 foot 9 inches in order to access this. And like I said, if you've been consuming alcohol, they won't let you go on them because it can be dangerous. There were a couple of ladies yesterday who were going to go on those crazy, like straight down ones and race each other. And they were told they had to take their earrings off as well. So just be aware if you're going to go and spend an afternoon or the day at the water park, just take your jewelry off, all your jewelry off, take it off, put it in the safe. So you don't have to worry about leaving it on the side of the pool area. But yeah, they do have snacks there. The pizza actually look pretty good. So I'm definitely going to try that. And then adjacent to that is a smaller water park for the little kids. And it's, like I said, it's literally just a splash park, whereas the Splash World is a full-on adult um, slide. Oh, AJ saying we'd be staying at Baja as well. Would love an update if they've done any renos to the gym from last year. I am staying at the Baja right now. And I can tell you that no, they haven't really done any updates to the gym. There are a couple of treadmills, a couple of ellipticals, Bosu balls, free weights. What else did they have? Office machines, obviously. And then, but also what's kind of cool is they have the outdoor gym area where they do the RIU Fit classes. And this is like with the suspension, which is actually happening right now. But I wanted to spend my time with you people, so I'm not enjoying it right now. But I don't know if I'd be enjoying it actually. It looks pretty hard. So it might be something that I regret wanting to do, but it's on at Saturday or Wednesdays at 10, current schedule. And I definitely it's something that's always interested me. So I definitely want to try that. So they do have more fitness classes, like cardio stuff going on in the RIU Fit area. Um, what else did I want to tell you? Other than that, updates to the property. They changed the sandwiches. Don't know if this is a big deal or not. The sandwiches that they have at the coffee shop, they're bigger now, which in my opinion, I kind of liked them before when they were just a little sort of like half sandwich. But it's actually like on a bun now. It's AJ saying, thanks. I found myself getting my extra steps in going back and forth between Baja and Santa Fe to hit my workouts. Anyway, sorry for spamming. Thanks for your vids. No, no problem. I mean, that's why I'm here. I'm here to answer questions. Actually ran into a couple yesterday when I was filming the buffet, and she said that they had seen my videos and that was part of the reason they chose to stay at the Baja is because they knew they could access all three properties and also because it's adults only. So I did remind them about this fabulous area here to enjoy the view and grab some lunch and a drink or two, as well as the lobby bar upstairs, which I showed you earlier, right up there, where you have this amazing view. Yeah. Pro tip, bring binoculars when you come here. Even if you don't come during whale watching season, which, as I said, is about mid-December to mid-April, you can often see sea life out there, whether it's manta rays that are jumping. Who knew? Did you know that they jumped? I didn't know that they jumped. If you see a bunch of splashy water out there, that's probably what it is. It's probably a group, a school. I don't know what you call a group of manta rays jumping up and down. Also, you can see dolphins, seals. So, there's lots going on out there. And then also, like I said, watching we saw somebody who was on a jet ski the other day and they'd capsized it. And, it was fine. They were fine. But just watching the other jet skis all buzzing in to help out. And that's the one thing I will say here. If you do decide to do some water sports, is never a problem that people aren't going to help you out. When many, many years ago, we decided to do a fishing boat trip, and we had gone out the year before with friends, and we caught everything. I mean, when you come into the harbor, they put the flags up to show for each fish to show what kind of fish, and so each flag is a different meaning. I think it's the red ones, which the with a T, which are a throwback, and then there's other ones for Dorado, other ones for tuna, other ones for sharks, sailfish. Uh, yeah, I mean, we caught everything. I think I was the one who caught the sailfish. Somebody else caught a shark. That was obviously a throwback. Um, we didn't even bring it onto the boat. The guy just cut the line. Thank God. Um, but we had done so well. And pro tip again, if you didn't know this, there's a few places around the marina where you can get the ship to radio ahead and tell them to come and meet your boat. They will take your catch and they will clean it, fillet it, package it, flash freeze it, and then you can come and pick it up on your way home. And all you have to do is you usually have to get a cooler. I believe it has to be a styrofoam cooler. You cannot seal it because obviously and they're going to inspect it once you get to the airport. But you can take it home with you. So when we flew from Cabo, obviously get to the airport a couple hours early, 4.5 hour flight, get your bags, drive home. So on all of that, when they were getting out of the vehicle, they dropped one of the pieces of fish. It fell on the ground and it was like a brick hitting the ground. It was still 100% frozen. So it's a real professional job. And I mean, with the prices of fish these days, it's probably gonna mean it's like effectively like a free fishing trip for the cost that you paid to go out. So definitely worth it. But anyway, so we had done so well the previous year that we decided, yeah, we're gonna go again, and we'll see how this goes. Now, side note, I get wickedly seasick. So when I decide to do something like this, it's not a casual decision. It's sort of stupid, but anyways, we didn't even make it past the arch, and the cheap old boat that we had booked broke down. That should have been a sign. Anyways, we had 3 boats that came by and helped us, and there was a lot of, like, wrenches just banging against the engine to fix it. Again, that should have been a sign. But we went out, I think we caught 1 fish, and it was super small, so we just threw it back. Nice to be out on the water, free trip to see the arch, I guess. But yeah, so maybe check around and do a little checking on reviews if you're going to do the fishing here. We're here, but it's a lot of fun and potentially very successful or not. But when we did go out, we were on the Rondinella 2, I believe, and I don't know if it's the same captain, if it's the same boat crew. But when I said, like I said, when we went on that one, it was spectacularly successful. So yeah. Overall in Cabo, not a whole lot's changed. Gailey Marlin obviously burned down. I think that was a year ago. Unamas is still here and is a great place to go for a beer. It is one of the cheapest places in the marina area to go for a beer. 40 pesos for a Dos Equis. So you really can't go wrong with that. Cabo Cantina, we also went to, they were 65 or 70, 70 for a Dos Equis, 65 for Tecate. And then there's Sancho's, which is a great place to go for tacos. Again, a little bit more on the beers. I forget the exact price. But I'm going to do another separate video of food options for you in Cabo to share, some of the fun places that we've been to and had some different foods at. I have had the billionaire bacon from Cabo Cantina before, and it was excellent. If you don't know what it is, Google billionaire bacon. I've made it at home and it's delicious. So yeah, lots of fun places around. They have a new on the if you consider the marina a U, is sort of at the middle of the U is where they're building a new hotel property, and it's also I think going to be mainly residences. And there's a Ferris wheel, and I don't know what the deal is with this, but it was running the other day, so I don't know what the cost is or anything like that. But it looks to be planned to be more of a sort of activities area, which is nice. I mean, they've got the nightlife, they've got showgirls and discos and stuff like that. But for somebody who's looking for a little bit less adult fun, but just something to do in the evening, that's definitely an option. There's also the movie theater in the Luxury Avenue Mall, which is right in the heart of the marina. So if you wanted to get out and do that, you could. A lot of the resorts have, shows and activities going on. And actually, we found when we stayed here last year, 1 week at this RIU Palace, Cabo San Lucas. And for whatever reason, I suppose we didn't go to any of the shows because we were busy sitting in the lobby, enjoying the view. But over at the Baja, it's a little bit further set back. It's still got a nice view, but in my opinion, it's not as picturesque as this one. And it was also quite windy and cold. So whereas this one's a little bit more protected because 3/4 of it are enclosed. Whereas at the Baja, there's a bit of a wind tunnel that goes through. So definitely be aware of that. But the Baja, we've actually watched the shows quite a few times. And what's really cool is they've really embraced technology. So there's a RIU app that you'll want to get. And this shows you the different activities that are going on. It tells you what restaurants are open. You can see the menu, shows you the dress code. I don't know what time of year a dress code would apply, but I can tell you right now, I've seen guys in t-shirts, sweatshirts, flip-flops, hats. So they don't seem to be enforcing any kind of formal dress code at this moment. But it could be in effect other parts of the year. So just bear that in mind. You don't want to show up and be thinking, oh, all these great a la carte restaurants, and then find out that men are required to wear long pants to them and you didn't pack any. That would be unfortunate. But the technology is great, and you can also see the different activities, the evening shows that are going to be on. And this is also where they do things like bingo. So, I mean, we've all been to other resorts where they do bingo, and it's like a cardboard card that has probably seen better days. And it's usually got a little like sliding plastic window thing that you can open if your numbers get called. Sometimes if you move the board the wrong way, they all open. So any of the numbers that you've tracked are all of a sudden gone. But here they do it digitally. So this is a new way. I mean, we were sitting at the lobby last night waiting for one of the shows to start. There was a band playing live music, and all of a sudden on the screen you can see bingo. Bingo's starting soon. And all you do is you go into the app, you enter the game code. So each bingo game has the code, and you put your name in. You can upload a photo or not, doesn't matter. And then the game will eventually just start. And you just tap on your screen once your numbers come up, or in this case, it was like the La Lotteria, I think, where they do pictures instead of numbers for the bingo. And it was just really cool. Like It's all digital. There was nobody screaming and yelling and trying to say the numbers while the music was playing. And yeah, that was it. And then whoever wins, I won the first game. So my name flashed up and didn't have any prizes or anything, but it was fun. Electric bingo at Vivid. Oh, Christine saying they have electronic bingo at Vivid. I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to go back. I think I'm gonna go back in a few months. We'll see. Yeah, yeah, but yeah, I need to get back to Cancun, and I also want to stay at the new. Oh, for rain days. Ah, okay. Well, I think we had good weather when it was there when I was there, so I don't think they would have had the opportunity to roll that out. Um, yeah, I want to go back. I want to check out Vivid again and do the pottery glass. And I also want to go to the RIU uh um Kukulkan, the RIU Palace Kukulkan, which is an elite club resort. And for the first year or two or three that it opened, they were exclusively selling to American clients. And then they decided to open it up. I don't know what the reason for that was, what their rationale, but they eventually changed it. So now it's open to everybody. And yeah, so I want to go and check that place out. Now Christine's saying, oh yeah, join me at Vivid for New Year's. I'm tempted actually. I looked at the prices and they're insanely good. Says they have regular bingo at the main pool daily at Vivid. Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know. Yeah, I like bingo. It's sort of something that keeps you interested, and yeah. Uh, Here they're also digitally doing trivia, and I think that's tonight. Today's Wednesday, yeah. So I think they're doing that tonight. So that'll be a fun thing to do as well. And it's sort of like the other day they had flags, and you had to guess which country it was and how fast you answers to get how many points you get. And again, I don't know if there's even a prize, but who cares, right? Um, it's just about the competition. Uh, Arnold says we'll be going there on Sunday. Are you going to Vivid or are you coming here? I'm curious. Either way, it sounds good. I mean, chance to be on a beach, enjoying the sun, never a bad thing. Yeah, so that's one of the cool things that they've got going on here. What's one of the other things I was going to say? I mentioned about they've expanded the waterside area, so they've added that whole snack bar with an area where you can get soft drinks and juices and stuff like that, as well as a bite to eat, and as well as draft beer, self serve beer. Um, so, I'm not intending on going on any of the water slides, but I would be interested in going there, hanging out and watching people, uh, just enjoying the fun and frivolity of it all. Oh, coming to the Rio. Oh, cool. Well, you can see me, say hi, because I'm here till next Thursday. Um, yeah, so yeah, it's kind of cool to see what's going on. Howard, is that Howard? My screen's getting dark. Howard says, I like the Mexican picture bingo. El Borracho, the drunk man, LOL. Yeah. Okay. Well, I didn't know what that was called. So that's something new I've learned. Yeah, yeah, it's kind of fun. Makes it a little bit more interesting than B legs 11. Um, yeah. So food's been really good here so far. I actually had lasagna last night. We went to Italian. I had lasagna. I asked for a small portion. You know me, right? You guys, I'm always asking for a small portion of food. I can always go and have more. I can always go and have some dessert after or whatever, but I just don't want a big, huge portion of steak. And I know lasagna is usually large. In this case, it was about like 3 inches by 3 inches. To me, that's the perfect size. It is a bechamel based lasagna, so a bit more creamy than normal, but still had tomato sauce, a meat sauce. And I finished it, guys. I finished it, and it was the best resort lasagna I have ever had in my life, truly. And I love lasagna. I love, tomatoey meat, cheese, sauces, and yeah, absolutely delicious. There've been a few things that we've had here that have been really good. Oh, the Asian restaurant. that was what we went to the first night. And it's busy. It's always busy going in there because it's so good. We had a bunch of different items and all of them delicious. And there's quite a good variety on the menu. They've got gyoza, they've got dumplings, and then they've got something else. It's like a dim sum version. And it's very tasty. So uh yeah, it's lots of food options. So for us at the Baja California, we have where's my restaurants? Oh, so there's five. We have five a la carte restaurants as well as the snack bar. There's also one restaurant that's just for elite club. So, again, if you booked into that room category, those are some of the extra perks. I did inquire the other day about um booking and upgrading. So good to know. If you book a regular room and you want to upgrade to elite club, you can, but you're not just booking into access. So you would actually physically have to change your room. I just was happy with my room. I would have rather just booked to be able to access the Elite Club Lounge, the Elite Club restaurant. For breakfast, there's a separate dining area, and I think they have an a la carte menu. So for everyone else, breakfast and lunch are buffet style only. And anyways, I think it was going to be for 4 nights. It was going to be $540 American to do the upgrade. So I think that works out to 135, 130 per night. I don't know. There's somebody out there watching that's good at math. So if you can comment below, what's 540 divided by 4? It's 100 and something. I got that much. Um, so it's actually not bad, but that is on top of what you've already paid. And because I'm Canadian, once you convert it, that does still work out to be a little bit more than what I had wanted to spend. But interesting to note that you can do that is an option. It'll be based on availability, and these prices that I'm quoting are the prices for Sunday through next Thursday only. So if you come at a different time of year, if you come the week before, the week after, the price could be totally different. It's going to depend on what's available. I mean, if nobody's booked into elite clubs, then it's probably going to be cheap as chips. But I can tell you for a fact that there are a lot of people booked into there because they're all taking advantage of having a separate cabana area right on the pool deck. It's right at the front of the resort, and to have a little bit of shade, as well as the servers are coming around with premium drinks. So it's not just, there's actually value in it, in my opinion, especially having access to the cabanas. Because I just that's kind of a nice treat for sure. Uh, What else has changed? Not a whole lot. We were staying at the Sandos Finisterre for the first week, which is facing the ocean. It's overlooking the marina, facing the ocean. They have three main pool areas, but the beach is not swimmable. That's actually similar to here. I've never ever stayed here when it's not been a red flag. We are technically on Medano Beach, but the actual Medano Beach where you can swim is down where all those boats are. So you could walk it. It's about 40 minutes, 45 minutes to walk it from here. It is possible. Um, but make sure you take water because it's a difficult walk on the sand because it's no, it's difficult walk on the sand um, because you sink into it. I've said before, it's a bit like walking in powder snow. You sink in and then you move forward a little bit. But part of the action is instead of, normally you would walk where you'd step and pull yourself forward. Here you step and you sink and then you move forward a bit. So it's sort of like one step and half a step. Um, uh, Eric saying, did I try the new Mexican restaurant? Looks like the same menu as Rio Bavaro. No, we haven't had a chance to go there yet. It was closed last night because the buffet theme was Mexican. But they do have birria tacos and some different stuff. The menus that you see online can vary a little bit from what you see here. So just bear that in mind. And sometimes that's a seasonal correction. Like I said, right now they're not legally able to sell the lobster. So they're substituting different items on that. But it's it looks good. So we're definitely going to try that. But like I said, the Asian restaurant was by far my favorite. And honestly, I would go for that lasagna again. I've had salmon here as well. We've had that twice. That's been good. Um, the steakhouse was good. My steak just wasn't cooked as well as I would have liked it. I'm more of a like well done kind of person. Um, hey Bojangles, how are you? Bojangles is saying why the red flag? It doesn't look too wavy. Maybe I just can't see it. This is true. This is very, very true. If I can see one. Oh, look. Yeah, we're right there. Red flag. But no, you're right. It doesn't look that bad. But just yesterday, I was watching some people swimming in the water, and the waves were literally carrying them out. Well, they were out in the water, and the waves carried them in, and then took them back out again. So the undertow is pretty fierce. If you watch when the water goes back, it's brown. So that's telling you it's sucking up all the sand and pulling it back with the waves. But this is pretty much the calmest it's been. Uh, Last week, when it was windy and a full moon, the waves were, I swear, 20 or 30 feet. They looked like 20 feet, but they were probably 30. And they were danger, danger. So, like I said, last week staying at the Santos Finisterre, cannot swim there. But we found a secret beach. And in my opinion, it's nicer than Medano Beach. So stay tuned for a video on that. Bojangles as well. Okay, I see that now. Yeah, it's the thing is, you have to be a strong swimmer in order to go in the ocean. But here, it'll be like there'll be rogue waves all the time. So you'll think, ah, it looks not bad, not bad, not bad. And then all of a sudden there'll be a massive wave. And, even the locals, you see them fishing all the time. And they'll be, casting the rods, casting. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, and they run back like 20 feet up the beach to avoid the big waves that are coming in. So you just have to constantly be watching and wary for sure. So what are we at now? So I think that's about it for this week. Now, I'm not sure what to do for next week. I'm going to be here still. But is it better? I don't know. Go ahead. If you're enjoying this video, give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. If you'd rather see me walking around the resort, I just got so sick and tired of losing connectivity, especially last week. That was brutal. I lost you guys for like 8 minutes. So, like, I'm trying to decide what is better for you. Do you want me to just be sitting somewhere with a nice view, answering your questions, or do you want me to be out and about? Because I am going to go and see the arch, so that's a possibility. Maybe do a catamaran, something like that, or I could just go downtown Cabo and kind of walk around and show you some stuff there. So let me know what you think. Comment below, and yeah, let me know what you want to see because I'm here right now. Might as well take advantage of me, ask the questions, and yeah. Uh, they have moved, I will say, on the toiletries. This is a stupid thing, but for women, you'll appreciate this. Um, they have changed the toiletries, so it's the squeezy bottles now. So they're actually physically attached to the wall. But they have body wash, and then they have a body lotion, and then in the shower they have shampoo, body wash, shampoo, and separate conditioner. And my hair is feeling like crazy soft. So yeah, just bear that in mind, ladies. When you're packing for the trip, you do not need to take any extras conditioner. That's for sure. If you're going in the pool every day, the chlorine has been a little bit strong, which is a good thing. Um, but that can mess up your hair pretty good too. So just make sure you've got some good detangle or something afterwards. Important things we know, right? All right, well, I'm going to wrap it up for this week. Thanks for tuning in. If, like I said, if you haven't already done so, please consider giving us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Yeah, channel stats are like 5% of people that are watching my videos are only 5% are subscribed. So please go ahead and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Comments. So Bojangles says, personally prefer this format. Okay, full connectivity. Yeah, it's like frustrating when um I, I- 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 tomorrow night. Uh, yeah, yeah, it's definitely an option. I've never done that before. And we fly home next Thursday, so tomorrow would be the last option to do that. So yeah, consider that. I'll definitely give it a thought. Eric says thanks for the videos. Thanks for watching. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your week. More videos coming out this weekend. I'll try to get the review done of the Sandoz Finisterra, as well as the buffet videos for the one of the properties, either the Baja California, the Cabo San Lucas, or the Rio Santa Fe. But they all look good. They've all got something for everyone. Not all of them has this view. So like I said, if you're coming here and you're going to stay at either the Rio Palace Baja California or the Rio Palace Cabo San Lucas, at some point in your stay, you're going to want to come and have lunch here. You just come and sit down and park it for an hour like I've done. The lady's been cleaning all around me. I'm probably frustrated that I'm taking up a spot and interfering with her job, but I keeping the area clean. But yeah, it's just you can't go wrong with that view. And I am going to be ready tonight to watch some of the pure runners slash tender runners as they head back to the Carnival Panorama. We'll see if they fare a bit better today because yesterday, no bueno. I'm sure somebody ended up spending the night here. Oh well. All right. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye for now. Oh, where is it? There we go. Okay.